Good morning, people, and today I'm going to be talking to you about something. So, in quantum mechanics, particles are wavelengths of possibilities until observed. Then it just so happens to collapse into something else. And this comes up with winds up becoming a problem because while it's a wavelength, it really doesn't do anything other than be light. It's in a quantum superposition, meaning that it really won't do anything until it picks something, right? And then, what was there to observe these particles before life was around? So physical matter could form in the first place, because all physical matter forms because of particles existing, meaning that if there was nothing to be able to observe these particles before life, then life wouldn't have been formed in the first place, to be brutally honest. Now, I have three explanations for this, and I will explain each and every one in this video and an experiment you could commit, which I'm committing, or at least two experiments, one of which I will be committing, to figure out which one is the true, or which one's the truth, right? Now, we have, like, quantum entanglement is the first explanation. Quantum entanglement is the first explanation, and I'll need to tell you why that works. Because when two particles interact, they are connected to each other. They send information to each other instantaneously, and not only that, their state of matter is affected by each other. Meaning that this could happen in such a way that one possibility reaches 100% chance and the particles collapse. Both of them. Now, you might think that this is probably the most probable one, but you'd be wrong. Because the time constraints on this one are insane. Because it will take the right particles to interact with the right particles so that they both collapse. Right? And this will need to happen within, like, around a billion, maybe even less than a billion years. This would have needed to happen. Right? And now, time for our second explanation, which is just God. It really is just God. That's the second one. And then, for like the third one, we have a cloud of consciousness covering the entire universe. Each of these comes with their pros and cons. Right? For example, the two I just mentioned make it difficult to conduct quantum experiments we've already conducted with ease. So what's up with that? Well, first of all, for the case of God, he's all-powerful and could probably let himself, or make himself, not observe the particles so that humans could conduct such an experiment. Or at least humans he's dubbed as destined to do so. And then there is the cloud of consciousness, which might be able to force itself out of where we're committing experiments, depending on how this cloud actually behaves, which is an entirely different topic. But yeah, now time for the two potential experiments you could commit. Number one, you consistently switch beliefs. You have 5 religions and 1 cloud theory for the cloud of consciousness, and you consistently switch in between them randomly for 2 years, each one lasting a single month per 6 months. Meaning each one lasts 4 months, which is enough time for you to determine the basics, or use the basics of the said system. Right? Now, here are all the potential results and what they'd imply. Number one, if one religion is consistently the most prosperous compared to the other ones, and yes, even though prosperity is personalized and subjective, if your own personal prosperity is what happens to you when you believe in a religion, then yeah, it's very clearly that religion. It doesn't really matter. If there's a moral truth, you will be rewarded for believing in that moral truth, right? But yeah, the idea is that you consistently switch faiths for 2 years and see which one's the most prosperous, right? That's the first experiment. And the second experiment is when you must commit with friends. But hey, you don't get to switch different faiths all the time or ever in this experiment. Instead, you have one faith for 2 years or 1 year. It really doesn't matter. And each of your friends also have one faith that's different in this case for 1 year or 2 years. Right? And after the 1 year or 2 years are up, you see which person prospered the most in their own personal words. Now, the reason I say you need friends for this is because you need people you could trust for this experiment. To commit to it and everything like that. Right? I have people that I trust, I just don't know if they want to commit this experiment. So, like, my first resort will be the second one I just mentioned. But if I cannot commit that for whatever reason, then I'm going right back to the first one. Well, yeah, that's about all I want to say. You could all of you that are viewers could commit this experiment if you want. But until then, I'm starting the experiment January 1st, 2026, and goodbye.